morning, welcome back to another vlog. If you're new here, my name is Sarah. I am a PhD student at Indiana University, study rhetoric and composition, do a lot of social media stuff, video, vlogging, digital stuff. So this weekend I went to my first 4Cs conference, which is a huge conference, 10,000 plus people, and it was in downtown Chicago, and it was exhausting. I learned a lot, and I feel truly like inspired by all of the incredible, smart, like diverse work that's going on just within this one little tiny realm of academia. And I'm hoping that I can channel all that inspiration into writing for the DIS, into being a better teacher and all of that good stuff for this week. But I am also quite tired and I have quite a bit of stuff that I need to do just when you come back from a trip and get to catching up and all of that stuff, like laundry, cleaning, unpacking, cooking, grocery shopping, getting a normal sleeping schedule back. So yeah, this vlog is going to be sort of like resetting and also hopefully getting some school stuff done. Okay, got ready for the day. It's 11:30. I had a Zoom meeting with my advisor and we talked about some exciting stuff. So I talked about it in my last vlog, but basically I've really been struggling to write the DIS. Nothing sounds right, nothing feels right. It just isn't going well. And I thought that it was because I didn't have like a strict enough plan. I didn't have an outline. So then I turned to model dissertations or like sample dissertations and used them as models, did like reverse outlines, tried to follow them, and everything felt wrong. But then when I made my presentation for this conference, I made a video and that felt so right. Of course it did. It just doesn't make sense to talk about vlogs and embodiment and video in only writing form. And so much of my ideas are talking about like the logic of thinking in video. And so my advisor and I talked about video in the dissertation and what that will look like. And it wasn't as like guided. We didn't create like any type of outline, but we just like talked about it loosely. And so I'm excited because now I get to incorporate video into the DIS. And we talked a little bit about the legitimacy of that, if I'll have pushback from like the older gen, the old guard on my committee. And my advisor was basically like, I'll fight them. So he basically was like, I've been waiting for you to get here, because he does a lot of like video digital stuff as well. And he was like, but I couldn't be the one to tell you, you had to do this. You had to come to that realization on your own. So yeah, feels like a big moment for me. So I'm gonna go grocery shopping and get stuff for dinner. And it's just gonna be a quick trip because then I have to come back, get my laptop and stuff, and head out to my dissertation writing group at the library this afternoon. Okay, I got my groceries, making sushi bowls for dinner tonight. It's been a minute since we've made those, and now I am being irresponsible and gonna get some coffee from Dunkin'. I feel like this is like a Monday tradition for me when I go to my writing group, but like I absolutely don't need this because I got so much coffee out at the conference, but my program funded me, so I'm telling myself that like all of that coffee was like on the program's dime. Hi, can I have a small iced coffee with cream and sugar and a caramel swirl? Thank you so much, you too. Checking back in. It is about 5:30 now and I finished the DIS writing group and I finished my office hours with a student, but it was really quick. So basically in the DIS writing group I was reading an article that we're going to be talking about in the seminar tomorrow, and it actually worked out like serendipitously because typically in that seminar my advisor assigns stuff that I've already read before, so I'm just like looking at it for a second time. And I was hoping that this would be the case because I didn't have like time this weekend to prepare because I was at the conference, but he assigned something new that I had never read, and I was like, oh gosh, now I'm gonna have to like spend time with this and I don't have time. But it was on my list that I already wanted to read for my dissertation anyway. So whenever I do work for that class, I try and like classify it as like dissertation work anyway, since it's about like embodied writing. But it doesn't always feel that way. So it was nice that I was like, okay, this is something I wanted to read anyway. And then I had some extra time. So then I started basically like storyboarding and writing out something for the beginning of my first chapter that I want to put into a video in the dissertation. And just like, I don't know, thinking about incorporating more video and adding video in, I just feel so excited. And it's like, duh, of course video is always going to be part of the dissertation. But I don't know. I just feel excited for the first time about like this project in a long time. Or what feels like a long time. Oh my goodness, how did it get to be so late? I look pretty rough, but I have to get in the shower, and I don't know where today went. I mean, I do know where it went. It went with me working already on making a little video and editing it for like the positionality statement of the dis, and I'm very excited about what I have so far. I feel like I look like a boy with no earrings and my hair back. And then tomorrow is podcast editing day for my students, so I had to make sure I knew what I was doing in Adobe Rush because that's a platform I'm going to teach them. Time to shower and get in bed. Good morning, happy Tuesday. Here's the fit. These pants that I thrifted a while ago but I've never worn, just because they were like too short and I didn't like how they looked with boots, but it's a little warmer out in the 40s. I think it's supposed to get into the 50s, so I'm wearing these heels and just have this oversized denim sort of like open button down from Old Navy, and this shirt I just got on the trip at Zara. It has little rufflies on the sleeves, and it does like on the bottom here, but it's tucked in. And yeah, ready to go teach. So I'm packing my lunch in this lunchbox, which just goes directly in the freezer, and then like the walls of it like lined with like ice pack, so it keeps everything pretty cold and you don't have to deal with like the really wet and annoying ice packs. I got this at like a Bed Bath & Beyond forever ago. When it's rolled up in the freezer, it looks like a knee brace for sure. But not the cutest thing, but very functional. Back from class. It is like 6:45. Megan is downstairs cooking me dinner like a true angel that she is. Today was long. Teaching was just like anxiety inducing because I was teaching how to edit podcasts, and I've never done like a software walkthrough like that. Like we talked about Adobe Rush. I've just never done that before. I feel comfortable and, depending on the day, confident teaching like thesis and paragraph structure and like actual like writing, traditional writing skills, but I've never taught like multimedia composing, so it was just like a new thing for me. In the first section, my computer crashed in the middle, and I don't know if like the energy was low or what, but like the vibes just didn't feel great, so I was a little nervous going into my second section, but I think it went pretty well in my second section. As I was teaching it, I tried to not just show like, here's how you like cut a clip, here's how you do a transition. I tried to like involve the students and say like, okay, rhetorically, what is missing here? And for them to say like, oh, some type of intro track to like help establish the tone. Or I'd say, okay, we have this sound effect of like these ocean waves. Where should we put this? And then to talk about the difference of putting ocean waves underneath the track at the same spot where they talk about like ocean pollution in the sample podcast versus putting it in the beginning to like let readers or viewers or listeners know that, hey, this is going to be about ocean conservation and stuff like that. So I tried to walk through like rhetorical thinking of doing this and to say, what's the effect of putting this kind of music? Is it amplifying the purpose? Is it creating a disconnect between purpose and music to confuse the audience? What emotions are you trying to cultivate in your audience? Because that's the whole purpose of why I'm teaching like this digital literacy class, because I think there's a lot of like rhetorical intention and just like rhetorical thinking that's involved in online and multimodal composing. So yeah, the second section went better. And then it ended early actually, so I was able to walk and get a matcha like I showed you guys, which was great. It hit the spot. And I was able to eat my lunch. And I was just getting ready to watch the vlog, and then someone from another grad student, like from my cohort, walked by and was like, hey, what's up? And I was just like, I just want to watch my vlog in peace. But it's fine, we chatted for a little bit. And then in my seminar, we talked about a reading that I had never read before, and honestly it was really hard. So I felt like I was just like one of the students rather than like the TA. And then I asked if my instructor would do something with the students that he did in the first grad class that he taught us, a digital rhetoric class back in like spring of 2019, pre-COVID, which is where he writes like all the names of the authors that we've read so far, makes a few notes of what they're about, and then starts to draw arrows and connect them all thematically. So if 3 of these authors are talking about defamiliarization or something, here's how we can connect them. And just a way of like thinking a new type of logic, like a connective logic, that I feel like is really necessary when talking about embodied writing, because all of these embodied facets are interconnected and there's no way to like chunk them by like, you can't just say here's a unit on race, here's a unit on gender, because they're obviously not separate things. And I think students really enjoyed that, so I can put some pictures that I took of the board here. And I know I enjoyed seeing it. Like by the end of it, I was just like, I'm emotional. Like this is one of the first grad classes I've had where the majority of the writers who we've read have been women, and women and men of color, and trans scholars and queer scholars, and we just don't read stuff like that. So it's been really cool seeing my advisor like prioritize those kinds of voices in our writing classroom. And yeah, this has been a really chatty clip. So I should probably go downstairs, help Megan cook dinner, or watch that vlog that I didn't get to watch this afternoon. Hello, happy Wednesday. This morning I laid in bed for quite a while because I was up from like 4 to 5 a.m. Just couldn't sleep, just watching Real Housewives, hanging out with Pirelli. Just been sleeping in my bed instead of Megan's the past 2 nights. But I just got done zooming in for a roundtable presentation about publishing with 2 grad students, including Megan and a faculty member. Megan talked about book reviews, the other grad student talked about how long the process can be and like choosing your battles with the editor. And then the faculty member talked about like publishing more of a controversial piece, but he has like the privilege of doing that because he's tenured and he's been in the field for a while. And while I was listening, I painted my nails. I have a doctor's appointment in about an hour at the health center. I'm gonna talk about the nausea that I've been experiencing basically every single night for the past few months, and like my temperature regulation issues. I don't know if I've like explicitly talked about it, but I definitely know like in little spurts I've mentioned that. I will randomly get really hot, even when it's cold outside. It has been snowing outside and I just like have like hot flashes basically. I've woken up in the middle of the night so hot over Christmas break that I had to like run and throw up, and it's not fun. So I don't know what's going on. I'm probably gonna have to do a blood test, which I hate, but I need to get to the bottom of it. I don't know if it's related to anxiety. Either my anxiety medication is like making this happen, or if I need to like up the dosage of my anxiety medication. I've also been panicking a little bit more than usual, having like panic attacks. So yeah, it's just fun being an anxious girly. And I'm also going to ask if she can give me a recommendation for physical therapy for my foot, which has been hurting for, honestly, I want to say like over a year now. It hasn't been great. Excuse me, Purr. How am I supposed to make the bed when you're there? How do I make the bed? You look so cute. Okay, did a bunch of cleaning downstairs and put like 5 loads of laundry away, which is my least favorite chore. And I need to vacuum my carpet up here, and then I think I'm gonna be done cleaning for today. I'll probably do my bathroom tomorrow. I typically like to have a clean space before I leave on the trip, like that I went on last weekend, but for whatever reason I didn't get to it. So now I'm having to clean like when I come back. And an update about the doctor. I went to a new doctor at the health center. I was seeing a nurse practitioner before, but my last appointment was like, honestly, just really triggering with her, so I didn't want to go to her again. But she's the one who like prescribes my anxiety medication, so I probably will have to go back to her. But anyway, this new doctor was really nice, and we talked about my foot issues, that she recommended a physical therapist who basically assess it until my physical therapy can fix the issue. And she did like a quick like verbal questionnaire, and then she did like a quick physical assessment. She told me that my thyroid feels slightly enlarged, which it wouldn't surprise me if this is hormonal, because I have a lot of like other things that make me think it's a hormonal issue. So I have to do an ultrasound of a thyroid, and I have to call and make an appointment for that, and then I have to do a blood test with a bunch of different tests. And she said that she recommends just like knocking them all out at once, because I am like super squeamish when it comes to needles, and last time I got my blood drawn I threw up and almost passed out. I'm feeling like frustrated that I have like all these things going on. Like, I started grad school and I just feel like my body gave out. I had to get glasses because I've been staring at a screen too long. She basically told me I have a fallen arch in my right foot because I turned to walking as a way to cope with all the stress of grad school. And now I have chronic nausea, which is probably related to anxiety or hormonal issues, which are stemming from grad school. And I'm trying like really hard to not spiral and to not be dramatic, but I'm just like, what am I physically putting my body through to get this degree? And it's one of those moments where I'm just like, what are my priorities? Is it worth it if this is the toll it's taking on my physical health? I went to a panel at the conference about chronic illness, and I never felt like I classified as having a chronic illness, and I still don't like know what like technically gets called a chronic illness, but I feel nauseous chronically, and it's not great. And like, even when I was packing for the trip, or whenever I think about like what I want to wear when I teach, I have to make sure it is like multiple layers, in case I get too hot, so I can take it off. And when I was teaching one time, I was wearing a sweater and I didn't have like a shirt on under, so I couldn't just take the sweater off, and it was horrible. And I felt like I was gonna pass out when I was teaching, and all my students were just like, what is going on right now? But I'm trying to be positive and say things will get better. I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. I'm gonna get these ultrasounds done. This is the first time someone told me that it might be a thyroid problem. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. Fresh and clean and ready for bed in these clean sheets. Hello, happy Thursday. Here's the fit. Running very late, so that's all I'll say. Okay, teaching is done, and I'm in the Starbucks drive-thru line because the weather is just like so nice. I was like, I just need to drive across town basically and get some Starbucks and just vibe to would've, could've, should've. That's what mood I'm in, and drink a Starbucks. Like, I think I'm gonna get a peach green tea, but something tells me they're gonna be out of that, so I might get a strawberry refresher. Not coffee and not matcha. I don't need a whole lot of caffeine. But teaching was really good. It was just a studio day, but I think students really appreciated having time with me there to ask questions. I could have just made it an asynchronous studio day, but then I know students wouldn't have gone out of their way to email me to ask a question. So I'm happy that I extended the assignment date to be able to do this. I think when you're teaching multimodal comp, where students are learning new technologies, you need to give them time in class to learn them with you there. So that's that on that. She's in her spring era. Her hat says thriving. I won't show her feet because you have to pay for that, but she's wearing sandals.
The dogs are out, and honestly, the sun feels so good on the dogs.
Okay, it is about 5:20 right now. I got home. I filmed some segments for the intro to the disc because now I'm working on video stuff. And I'm just like super excited to see how it all comes together. It's truly only a 3-minute video, but I'm just like really, really excited for it. And then I finished reading my friend's book. So I won't go into detail about this, but one of my friends wrote a book, and just for like the sake of her own privacy, I don't want to go into detail, but it's incredible. And I cannot wait for it to for her to get an agent and for her to sell it, because I know that I have no doubt in my mind that it will be on shelves. So I finished that, and now I'm gonna jump back into Harry Potter. I'm so sick of looking at screens. I need to read a paper copy. So yeah, I'm gonna go to Target and buy a hard copy of the next Harry Potter. Target didn't have it. They only had the first 2 books. I found it, and they only had 1 left, and it was a hard copy, and it was $30, and I ordered it on Amazon, but it's coming tomorrow, and I just couldn't wait, and it was $6 on Amazon. So this is like a crazy purchase, but I'm in a manic mood right now, and I just have to start it. And you know, I had to look around, and I got this other book that was in my Amazon cart for a while. I just went to Morgenstern's, which is an independent bookstore, local bookstore. So I never mind spending the money at independent bookstores. This is a memoir, and it's about healing from trauma and how trauma is a physical thing, and I feel like it could be really useful for my discs, honestly. Okay, it is almost 1 o'clock now. I had a 12 o'clock meeting with someone in the rhetoric program because I am teaching, hopefully, a 200 level rhetoric course in the summer, and I gave it my course description, but we had to just chat about the course objectives, my sequence of assignments, how I was meeting the word requirement because it's an intensive writing course. I'm out of breath from walking across campus. It's a little cold today. I look a little rough. No makeup on my face, just moisturizer. But yeah, the meeting went really well. He's also the 4th member on my committee. So we talk a little bit, but I haven't really seen him since the prospectus defense, which was traumatizing. So yeah, I think the meeting was pretty good. He told me the course looks great, sounds great. He gave me some pointers. He also challenged me to think about what I mean by rhetoric, which that's too much to take on right now. And he told me someone else, another professor I could possibly chat with who teaches like a visual rhetorics course. So the class is about video as a public storytelling method, and I want to look at vlogs and TikToks and, you know, more stuff that my research is about, if you've been following along with my channel. And I basically want students to analyze videos as well as create videos and give like rationales for why they made the rhetorical moves that they did. We chatted about which textbooks or fractions, segments of textbooks we would use. So I'm gonna go home. I might finish up the video that I was chatting about for my dissertation, and I might also just like do nothing. I don't know. I woke up in like a bad mood this morning, so let's just chill out for a little bit probably. Good morning, happy Saturday. It is after 12 already. This morning I was reading some of that memoir that I bought at Morgenstern's, and now I'm gonna do a little thrifting at Goodwill. Hopefully just like window shopping. I just like want to get out of the house, and Goodwill is just like fun, and I'm in the mood to just look at stuff. So let's go. I got quite a few goodies. So I just filmed a whole try and haul for TikTok. So if you want to see what I got at Goodwill, go to my TikTok, follow me while you're at it. But I also got some books that I didn't show on the TikTok that I'll show you guys. I got The Silence of the Girls. It won the Booker Prize, so it's gotta be good. It doesn't feel like one of my typical reads. It seems like it's set in like ancient Greece, city of Troy, all of that. But it seems really interesting. And Summer 69. I've been wanting to read an Ellen Hildebrand book. Little guilty pleasure moment. So I picked it up because why not? It was like $1. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick this memory card in and get to editing this vlog. If you guys watch the whole thing, thank you so much. It was almost a full week in my life. Tomorrow's gonna be a bunch of boring stuff anyway. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. As always, leave a comment, subscribe, like, share with a friend. I really appreciate your support so much. Bye.